Exodus 23. Do not spread a false report. Do not join hands with the wicked by becoming a malicious witness. Do not follow a crowd to do evil, nor are you to testify in a case to follow a crowd and pervert justice. On the other hand, nor should you take sides with the poor man in his case. If you find your enemy's ox or his donkey going astray, you must surely bring it back to him again. If you see the donkey for the one that hates you lying down under its burden, do not leave it. Rather, you are to release it with him. You are not to pervert justice to your poor in dispute. Stay far away from a false charge. Do not kill the innocent and righteous, for I will not justify the guilty. Take no bribe, for a bribe blinds those who have sight and perverts the words of the righteous. Do not oppress an outsider, for you know the heart of an outsider, since you were an outsiders in the land of Egypt. For 6 years you are to sow your land and gather and increase. But during the 7th year you are to let it rest and lie fallow, so that the poor among you may eat. Whatever they leave behind, the animals of the field may eat. You are to deal with your vineyard and your olive grove the same way. You are to do your work for 6 days, but on the 7th day you will rest, so that your ox and your donkey may have rest, and also the son of your handmaid and the outsider may be refreshed. With all the things I have said to you, take heed. Make no mention of the names of other gods, and do not let them be heard in your mouth. 3 times in the year that you are to celebrate a festival for me. You are to observe the feast of Matzah. For 7 days you will eat matzah as I commanded you, at the time of the appointed in the month of Aviv, for that is when you came out from Egypt. No one is to appear before me empty-handed. Also you are to observe the feast of the harvest, the first fruits of your labors that you sow in the field, as well as the feast of the ingathering at the end of the year, when you gather your crops from the field. 3 times in all the year your men are to appear before Adonai Elohim. Do not offer the blood of my sacrifice with hametz, nor is the fat of my feast to remain out all night until morning. Bring the choicest first fruits of your land into the house of Adonai your God. Do not boil a kid in its mother's milk. Behold, I am sending an angel before you to guard you on the way, to bring you to watch to a place that I have prepared. Watch for him and listen to his voice. Do not rebel against him, because he will not pardon your transgression, for my name is in him. But if you listen closely to his voice and do everything that I say, I will be an enemy to your enemies and an adversary to your adversaries. For my angel I will go before you and bring you to the Amorites, Hittites, Perizzites, Canaanites, Hivites, and Jebusites, and I will cut them off. You are to bow down to their God. You are not to bow down to their God or serve them or do what they do. Rather, you are to utterly overthrow them and break their pillars in pieces. You are to serve Adonai your God, and he will bless you and your food and your water. Moreover, I will take the sicknesses away from your midst. None will miscarry, nor be barren in your land, and will fill up the number of your days. I will send my terror before you, and throw all the people to whom you will come into panic, and make all your enemies turn their backs to you. I will send the hornet before you, which will drive out the Hivites, the Canaanites, and the Hittites from before you. I will not drive them out from before you in a single year. Otherwise the land would become desolate, and the animals of the field will drive them out from before